Hello and welcome to the Scarpa War with me, Russ Johnson. I'm here with an Oppo preview ahead of the game on Saturday away at Lincoln with Jake from Here for the Lincoln podcast. You okay, mate?
I'm good, Russ. Thank you. We've worked together once or twice on EFL debate with Gab, and it's always nice to collab. I like Stockport. Lincoln and Stockport went down together, and I've always kept an eye out for your results. So yeah, they're a club I quite fondly think of, and it's nice to be involved.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, and it is good to work with you when it comes to Gab. Gab, I really like Gab. I don't obviously our listeners will know Gab as well, so really good to be involved there. You've mentioned something that's where I wanted to start. Actually, we obviously went down together, different paths after that. We spent 14 years outside the league. I think it was 14. We lose track. What has happened to Lincoln since then, and tell us a brief sort of description of that journey until we meet on Saturday.
Yeah, crikey, it's quite a long one. We were National League, and then we nearly got relegated. I think we won 5-1 away at Hyde to stay in the National League, which was terrifying. You know what it's like down there. You think you're going to go and walk the league, and then all of a sudden, Blythe Spartans rock up like it's the cup final, and they put 11 men behind the ball and nick a goal and beat you 1-0 because your cup finals and team. We get that in this league with Birmingham and Bolton, so it goes full circle. But yeah, we had sort of 5 years in the National League where we never finished above 13th. And then the season that Braintree got into the playoffs, we nicked the managers, Danny and Nicky Cowley. It's well publicised that the season we had that year, we won the National League with 99 points. We got to the semi-finals of the FA Trophy, first non-league team over in 100 years to get to the FA Cup quarterfinals, where we lost to Arsenal 5-0, which was quite a good experience, even though we got absolutely battered. And then we came back into the league, similar to what you guys did. So we went playoffs first year, win the title the second year, and then we've been in League One now for, I think this is our 6th year. We finished in the playoffs once. We've been fairly mid-table to sort of top 10 since getting promoted into the league, and we come in on Saturday. I think we are 10th in the league. Coming into Saturday, we've had a pretty mixed bag to the season, but it's been a roller coaster, Rush. Just like supporting Stockport, you've got the lows of the National League, and you went further than what we did into the National League North. So you kind of have to enjoy the moments where you're in the Football League, because you never know when it's going to go pot again and you're going to fall down back through. So yeah, it's been one hell of a journey. Lots of really cool points on the way. We've won trophies, we've won leagues, and yeah, we're looking to get out of League One the right way round this time, hopefully.
Yeah, just a quick one on the National League and going down. Did you ever consider which division you'd be in if you went down? Because I think Lincoln's probably on the border between North and South the way they split it.
Yeah,
probably one of those.
Well, Boston are in. Well, Boston were National League North, weren't they? And they're slightly further south than us. So I would think that if we were to go down again, we might have nicked Boston. But I seem to remember like Gloucester were playing National League North back then, and teams like that. And I was thinking, how on earth they're in the North? It's literally like down at Cheltenham. But I think we'd have gone into the North. But thankfully, I mean, I know you guys did for a number of years, but thankfully we never sort of dropped into the National League North, because that would have been. It's what Scunthorpe are doing now, and we're really enjoying Scunthorpe being down there. I know it's horrible, but we are enjoying Scunthorpe being down there. So,
that's interesting. I didn't know there was a rivalry with Scunthorpe and Lincoln.
It's it's kind of like all the Lincolnshire clubs are sort of. It's not the main one; it's just a side piece, if that you will. Like Grimsby's the big one, Boston's the next one. And then I'd probably say you make rivalries when you go through the league. So like Forest Green were one, because we were fighting at the title with the National League with them. Tranmere, Peterborough, and Mansfield come because they're pretty local wise. So yeah, no, we're just enjoying Scunthorpe. They used to be pushing to get into the Championship like we are now, and then all of a sudden they're in the National League North. So it's it's quite funny, especially when you've got mates at work that are Scunthorpe fans as well.
Yeah, I sympathise with them. It's not funny being in the National League North. But anyway, we'll skim over that. So yeah, Lincoln City then this season. Yeah, 10th. You're right. Same points as us, same games as us. You've scored one more than us, conceded 5 more. How's it gone generally? Because you had I mean, recently you lost to Birmingham, which obviously there's no disgrace in that. But then that 3-0 win 3-0 loss, sorry, at Crawley's got a sting, hasn't it?
Yeah, that did sting, especially when you take half a day off work and travel all the way down
Oh,
to Sussex, and
God.
and you're in at work at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. That one did stung. Yeah, no, I'd say it's been quite good. I mean, you might have seen the way that we ended last year. We went we went 16 unbeaten and 2 losses in 20 from New Year's Day, essentially, and pretty much took ourselves from mid-table, bang in the middle of League One, to the playoffs, essentially, nearly. We missed out on the final day to Portsmouth, where we missed the penalty to go 1-0 up, and then we lost 2-0 and subsequently didn't get into the playoffs at the expense of Oxford and Barnsley, I think it was. So we came 7th last year, and lots of fans were thinking Michael Scabala is his first pre-season in charge of Lincoln. If that's what he's going to produce in the second half of last season, we're going to be a pretty good side. And to be fair, apart from Tuesday night just gone, we have been a pretty good side. You mentioned the Birmingham game. They're a very good side, the best side that I've seen in League One over the 6 years, and we nearly matched them. We
Wow.
missed the penalty at 2-1 to lose, and we lost the game 3-1 because they caught us on the counter right at the end. But predominantly, we're quite what's the word, disciplined. We're very good defensively for the most part. Goals are coming from all over the pitch this year, so that's a positive. Yeah, no, we've had a good start. Our best performances have probably come in 2 of the 3 games that we've lost in Birmingham and Barnsley. Yeah, it's been a good start. Look, the league's really, it's still taking its shape and stuff. And I expected us to be on a similar sort of footing to Stockport when I saw your arrivals coming over the summer. So I'm not discontent at the moment. We're a point outside the playoffs. I think we both are. And we've got some games coming up. Like we got yourselves, Northampton, Bristol Rovers, and Exeter. They're 4 games that we can look at and potentially try and get as many points as we can and try and get ourselves back in the playoff spots, because that's where we have been for most of this season. So it's been a good start. We've had low moments like Crawley. Crawley was a nightmare for more reasons than one. We can go into that if you like, but yeah, it's been a fairly good season so far.
Yeah, I don't think we'll go into that. I won't put you through that. I mean, just generally speaking, what were the pre-season sort of expectations for you? Was it to be in the playoffs, considering you finished just outside last season?
I think so. I think a lot of fans would have wanted to sort of try and achieve something similar, if not try and go one better. Although I think a lot of Lincoln fans, and when I put my 1 to 24s out for League One, um, a lot of Lincoln fans said, well, we'll do well to get into the playoffs because the league is a lot stronger this year. I'm
Yeah,
sure you hear it from loads of opposition fans, but people like yourselves coming in, Wrexham, Blues, Huddersfield, and Rotherham coming down, big budgets in you wouldn't think Wickham, Bristol Rovers, Burton got a takeover in the summer. Exeter are always really clever. So I think the aim was really to try and be in the top 10, certainly. And if we could push for the playoffs, that would be really good. But once you get in them and you're in them for a few weeks, the expectation naturally rises.
yeah,
And therefore, I think a lot of fans are thinking that this group can finish in the playoffs, and hopefully Michael Scabala can guide us there. But I would be happy if we came 8th. It wouldn't be the end of the world because, for both of us, 10 years, you look back 10, 15 years and it would be 15th in the National League. So it's swings and roundabouts.
yeah. No, absolutely. On to Saturday then. So, how do Lincoln set up generally? Are you capable of changing it, or is it a rigid formation? What's the thinking? What's the manager's thinking?
So Michael adapts a sort of a 3-5-2 formation. We went to 3 at the back. I think it was partway through the Mark Kennedy 22-23 season. It sort of stuck a little bit. So we have 3 centre backs. One is who I really want to highlight is a lad called Sean Rowan. He had a nightmare on Tuesday, but he's only 21 and has played over 100 games for our first team now, which is a pretty good feat. We recruited him at 16 from Ireland. He's pivotal to the way that we play. So when we don't have, when we have possession, he sort of swaps from a left-sided centre back to a left back, and we move into a back 4. And it's really interesting as to what they try to do. But it's a traditional number 6 in Ethan Arahan, who's far too good, I think, for this level. We signed him from St Mirren about 18 months ago, and he's been well, until I saw Paik and Iwata on Saturday last week, probably one of the better midfielders that are hanging around in League One. And then we play with sort of an advanced 8 and a traditional 8, if you will, one that likes to go and get involved with the 2 centre forwards up top. And also, what I will advise Stockport fans to look out for are our wing backs. Tendai Dariqua plays on the right, and it will probably be one of Dom Jeffries, Eric Ring, or Rico Hackett on the left. Left-sided, sort of, we go that way. The left wing back goes and attacks and joins the centre forwards, whereas the right back tucks round, but equally can get forward as a traditional right back. So, yeah, lots of getting the ball into the box. We'll challenge your centre halves. Set pieces, we're very good at. We're quite a big side, so a lot of teams, a lot of opposition fans that I spoke to have labelled us as direct. We get the ball quickly, we sit off and let the other team have a lot of the ball, and when we get it in transition, we are very, very good. So I imagine we might well give Stockport a lot of the ball on Saturday.
Yeah, interesting stuff. I'm sure that a lot of county fans will be listening to this now. The sort of the cogs will be turning in their head, just especially when you consider our last 2 results and the way those played out. If county fans are listening, who do we look out for then on Saturday? I noticed that if I look at Fortmore, Ben House, Tom Bayliss are all getting flashy lights. Bailey Kadamatri. Who is there anybody maybe that's under the radar? I know you've mentioned a couple of names already, but is there anybody else that you would say we should look out for? That's he's a quite exciting player.
I think the 2 that I mentioned, Sean Rowan and Ethan Arahan, from a defensive point of view, very, very tidy. In terms of going forward, Ben House, I think he scored 3 goals now as a pressing centre forward that can really challenge your defenders if they like to dawdle on the ball and will get in their faces. I would also like to give a mention to Freddie Draper. You might have seen him last season in League Two. He was on loan at Walsall. I think he scored 10 in 20 odd before he got recalled in January. He's a really decent centre forward who can bully defenders and is only 20 years old, so he's going to get better, and he's a very good goal scorer in terms of if you put the ball in front of him in the 18-yard box, he's going to score more than he won't. So there's a few names for you to keep an eye out on. That we've got a really talented but a really young group at Lincoln, and it's working out really well.
Yeah, the similarities are uncanny, really, from our perspective, from what you're saying, because we're quite young as well. Can play 5 at the back or 3 at the back with 3. However you want to pitch that. Interesting stuff. Okay, final question. Then I've got a pressure for this. Obviously, Lincoln are at home. Score prediction, if you will.
Yeah, well, we're traditionally a better away side. I would have said that, and I'm laughing given the fact that our last away result ended in a 3-0 defeat at Crawley.
Of course.
At home, we're not fantastic. We can get routine wins, but we've got a double header with yourselves and Northampton on Tuesday. So I'm sort of thinking if we can get 4 points from that, I think Stockport are a really tidy side. And you've drawn a lot of games. You don't lose many. You've not necessarily won many in recent weeks, but you don't lose. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I mean, it'd be disappointing for Lincoln because we'd like to win at home games, but I think a 1-1 draw of a team like Stockport, they're a team we want to finish around, and hopefully we both get in that top 6 together. But yeah, 1-1.
Yeah. How do you see it playing out then? Just on the 1-1, do you see us going ahead, you going ahead, and then being pegged back? Which way round would it be?
We're quite fast starters. I don't know if you noticed in the Birmingham game, we scored in 33 seconds.
Right.
So we ignite the press really quickly for the first 15 minutes, and then we tire ourselves out. But normally we get one up in that time, and then it will be a case of probably sitting back and then Stockport with the quality that you've got with Louis Barry, whether it's Carl Wotton, Fiorini can hit one from the edge of the box, as we well know as Lincoln fans. Jack Diamond can score goals, and he scored a lot of goals for Lincoln. So, I think we'll go 1-0 up, and then you'll peg us back probably in the second half.
Interesting stuff. Okay, Jake, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
No problem, and good luck after Saturday. And I'm sure we'll see you in the return leg at Edgeley Park.
Yes, in April. Can't wait.
In April. Cheers, mate. Speak to you soon.
Thank you.